Thank you, Riv. Here with Sneaky and Meteos after just a dominating victory there over Team Liquid. The first thing we have to approach is obviously the Kalista. And Kobe actually mentioned he wanted to know, why didn't the Kalista come out week 1? Why did you wait until week 2?
She was actually bugged week 1, where half the time, I think it was past 2 daggers, it actually would not make you move with your passive when you auto-attack people. So with that in place, it's not really worth the player, just because you lose half your mobility. But now that that's gone, I think she's been like a super high priority pick for the most part. I don't know if everyone's playing her, but she seems pretty good right now.
So priority for you definitely. Was the entire team composition built around the Kalista pick?
Not specifically. You can kind of throw Kalista into any composition. I think she actually works with any support. Nautilus was one that I've tried. Some guy named Stuntopoulos played it in solo queue. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. It got me a lot of kills.
Very interesting. Meteos, though, I noticed you guys picked up the Vi, Lissandra, champions that would normally be huge threats to Kalista. Being that slippery mobile champion, like in terms of using her passive to kite, those targeted abilities like Lissandra ult and Vi ult would generally be picked up to target Kalista. And you guys seem to be very methodical in your champion select. Was this like, no matter what, this is the comp we're picking?
I don't know if it was so much we went into it with these 5 champions in mind, because a lot of stuff can happen during the draft. It's really hard to get 5 champions when you go into it, because they can pick it, they can ban it, whatnot. But we sort of all we had a really bad week last week, of course. And so coming into this week, we're like, okay, let's just try to find something we're comfortable on and just like give everyone champions we can play. Pretty straightforward comp, you know, just like dive in, kill everybody, give Sneaky a champion you can carry super hard on, and it worked out.
Let's touch on that last week, just because you brought it up. You tweeted out yourself that those were some of the worst games of your professional career. How did you guys diagnose the issues that came up in week 1, and then within 1 week, seemingly, you know, rectify a lot of them?
Well, I still think we have some issues. It's just, I don't know whether it was the break or moving, but somehow we're just sort of not on the same page all the time. And that's something we really focused on this week, just, you know, making sure that the right calls are being made, the right calls are being followed. Last week, it was sort of everyone was sort of trying to solo queue their way to victory. And everyone's so good in LCS now that you can't really win doing that. And so I think we just put a big emphasis on, like, you know, High's our shot caller. Let's, like, listen to High. Like, no matter what he says, he makes a really terrible call, just follow it. And that's sort of what we went with today, but his calls were all good. That
being said, you guys have had some of the best early game play out of any of the teams within the the first 3 games of the season that we've seen. It was mentioned, Balls was up 40 CS within 10 minutes on average in your first week of play. Today, you were absolutely crushing the CS in the bottom lane on Kalista. Do you guys feel like if you do fix some of the shot calling and communication issues that you have, that with that early, leads, the early leads that you secure, you can just roll through right back up to the top of the standings?
Well, it seemed like through those advantages that we got in the first 2 games, we could have just taken the game from there. And there was just issues that, like with shot calling and stuff, that we just weren't listening to. And it seemed like we could win games. And I don't know if it will rocket us to top through those early games, but obviously it helps to be ahead early. I don't know. We still have some issues that we need to work out.
I do want to touch on it. Team Liquid's coach actually tweeted out about this match, saying 2 all-in comps, whoever wins the first team fight is going to be pretty far ahead. Unfortunately, they didn't come out with that first team fight win. Do you feel the same way about the way that game was set up in terms of T-comps, or do you think that there's a little more to it than that?
There was a lot of setup for the team fights. I felt like we were pretty ahead before the team fights even happened, actually.
All right, we have a replay of one of those first team fights up in the top lane. Meteos, I'm going to toss this one to you. It's about 20 minutes into the game. We're going to pull it up on your screen right now. Sneaky, you end up securing a double kill here. But, Meteos, I want you to walk through, just because you guys are making a hard move to the top lane here. Were you expecting this all-in engage from the Leona Gnar?
Well, what happened here was Sivir was super pushed up. And we sort of have this joke when we're playing against Liquid, is our strat is tilt Piglet, and because he was behind, he started pushing, and we're like, oh, he's probably like doing a tilt push. I bet his team's not super set up for this. So we just went for him. They sort of were set up for it, but not as set up as they should have been. So we actually got a really good fight here, and we just, killed their divers. Jarvan and Gnar jumped in. They weren't as tanky as they could have been at this point, just because we were a little bit ahead, and then, the fight went really well for us.
Now, utilizing the Kalista ultimate is something that's really difficult, especially in solo queue. I mean, I was playing with somebody the other day, and it completely caught me off guard. Given the fact that you at least have voice communication, how much of that chatter pre-fight is you to Lemon Nation about when you're going to actually ult him, and who's calling for that? Is it High calling for the Kalista ult? Is it Lemon calling for it? Is it you calling for it?
It's actually Lemon who calls for it if a team fight's going on, because I can't actually look at his life pool. So if he actually says up, 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 up if he wants me to pick him up to save him. So he just says that, and I'll hit R the second I hear it. And then besides that, if a fight's not actually going on and I want to initiate, I usually just throw him in.
Ah, fantastic. And tomorrow you guys play against CLG. Another really strong bot lane. You obviously showcase your ability to dominate here against Piglet, who was, you know, built up as world champion coming in. Double lift and Afro move, no strangers to, you know, claiming that they are the best bot lane in NA.
True.
Are you going to style with Kalista on them tomorrow?
I don't know if I'll get Kalista again, but I don't know. We've had a lot of issues against CLG because we actually scrimmed them when nobody else was scrimming a lot, and we had a lot of really close fights in the bot lane in 2v2 when we were scrimming them.
All right, well, out in fantastic form today with a very dominating victory, definitely convincing, bringing you to 1-2. Congratulations again on the victory. Best of luck tomorrow. We do have to take a quick break, but after, we will head back into the action with Team Impulse facing off against Counter Logic Gaming. Keep it tuned right here. Yeah, I don't... Kalista is absolutely...
Follow the rotation. Feel good? One. Good. Feel good? Yeah. Feel good?
Indeed.
Indeed. Are you ready, Expansion?
Yes.
Especially feel good?
I feel good.
Alright, nice. Yeah, we all feel good.
An ability to pick people off. Whoa, what do you say there? Pick people off. Oh, no, he goes down.
Pick me up. Up. Dominate. Quas. I'm holding quas. Kill quas. You guys are good. Back up, Siki. Yeah. Careful. Nice. Good job.
As the Timbers coming out, and it looks like they're fully going for the fight. Quas gets a good ultimate from Gnar, but it may be too little too late. Balls to the back line. He's just trying to be a nuisance right now. Nobody can follow through on this one. Xpecial goes down immediately. Dominate goes down as they all go in 1 for 1.